Welcome to a new Daily Top AskReddit video. Today's topic.
What's one of the hottest things someone has ever said to you in bed? When I was hooking up with my now wife for the first time, I said something forgettable like, "What does your pussy want?" And she pulled me in tight and whispered in my ear, "It's your pussy now," and I thought I was going to die. "That's very kind of you, but I already have genitals and you will probably need it." I threw it on the ground. We were in the kitchen out of breath and she was drinking some water, and between gulps she said, "Oh yeah, definitely the best I've had," and until this day I've chosen to believe she was talking about me and not the water. I'm too lazy to find them, but there are several gifts from the water boy that would be great here. That's some high quality H2O. "I came and collapsed," she said. "You're not done yet. Oh, to be young again. It was a long night. The mind is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. I sentence you to death. By SNU. YAAAY. It wasn't in bed, but she took me to meet her friends and one of them said, "Now I can put a face to the magic dick she won't shut up about." Stratospheric ego boost. This sounds like something the Super Smash Bros. Announcer would shout, "Ha ha ha." This was afterwards. "The way you fuck me makes me feel so sexy." I am still wondering what she meant by that, but it sounds hot. Genuine interest and enthusiasm does wonders for your partner's self-esteem in bed, and often results in him being interested in sex more often. Facts. It boggles my boyfriend's mind how turned on I get when he moans when I go down on him. I'm like, "So respectfully, you making noises is encouraging because you like it." I cannot explain it any clearer. She was holding one of my hands and sort of rubbing it between hers. "God, your hands just make me," and then she kind of shuddered. I've never felt so wanted before in my life. That kind of validation rewires a person permanently. You can always commit a crime to feel more wanted. We were making out and I said, "I'm trying so hard to be gentle," and she just lifted her shirt and said, "Don't be." Bro, I'd give her the most intense, disappointing 15 seconds of her life after a comment like that. Most intense, disappointing 15 seconds of her life. Twice in a row. You go, tiger. I want you to taste how wet you make me. Saluting face, saluting face. Bookmarking this. Username checks out. In the middle of teasing me to get me in the mood, she said, "I want you in my ass. Don't stop until every drop you've got is inside me." Found out she was serious. I emptied my soul into her and put a ring on it. Going on almost 20 years together. She put her ring on you first, and they say romance is dead. The next morning when we woke up, she sat up and said, "It feels like someone rearranged my insides last night." Plot twist, Op stole her kidney. Did he take her to Candy Mountain? Just the, "God, you're going to make me come so hard," usually does it for me. I've had to tell my wife not to say that until about 10 seconds from liftoff, as it makes me blow right away. I get that when my partner is getting into it, saying shush is about to finish or don't stop makes me feel like I'm about to as soon as she says it. My girlfriend regularly tells me to pump her pussy, ass full of cum, and that usually does it for me, tears of joy. Yeah, she tells me the same too. What are the odds we're all in the same thread together? Exclamation mark. I want you to come in my mouth. My wife says it when we're having sex sometimes, and it love it every time. Partners vocally enjoying each other does wonders. This girl I was seeing was giving me head, super enthusiastic and into it. I tried to pull her up so I could start going down on her, and she pushed me back on the couch and said, "I'm not done yet," and proceeded to give me the sloppiest sloppy of my life, LMAO. The difference between a girl that will give head and one that loves it is crazy, right? Absolutely, pretty much all but 2 girls that I've been with have been pretty uninterested in giving head or would make it seem like a chore, and I've always been a guy where I will go down on the girl in with every single time and make them come every single time before we even start having sex, lol. So it's been a very one-sided journey for me, so those couple times it wasn't like that have been magical, LMAO. My wife and I took a weekend trip to the beach a few weeks ago. Just us, no kids. Went to a nice dinner, then got a bottle of wine. Unfortunately, both of us got super sleepy at the Airbnb before cracking open the wine, but just before we were about to drift off, my wife says those magical words. "Do you want to get drunk and build Legos?" Then she produces 2 Harry Potter Lego sets from her bag, moved that party to the living room, threw on some Office reruns, and the only thing erect that night was the night bus and a monster book of monsters. 10 out of 10. Please sir, may I take your wife on a weekend trip next time she's free? Only if you don't lose my Legos. I think you just fucked the depression out of me. Still riding that high. That's a pretty high compliment. Raising hands, medium light skin tone. I'm sitting on his face and he goes, "Just look how hard this makes me," and brother, he was harder than I'd ever seen him. Phew, I think my jaw dropped. I was not used to dirty talk, but that got me goddamn. I'm imagining it all muffled, Elfu cow half fizz macphase FME. Haha, he tapped my leg to have me lean forward skull. Next time drop the jaw on the hard dick, tears of joy blow his mind lol. I did not need to read these comments while at the gym, man facepalming medium skin tone. You and me both bro, loudly crying. So this is what all the people on their phones at my gym are doing instead of working out. If you don't pull out, I'll make pancakes in the morning. With the baby batter, probably one of those, hot in the moment, revolting after post-nut clarity, type of deals. Underscore pulls out underscore, she looks at you confused. I prefer waffles. She was riding my face and grabbed my hair and tilted my head back as she came and said, drink me. Most honest username I've seen in a while. My body is now your communion. Drink from me. Macago's external body temperature is roughly equal to the surface of the sun. Pokemon references where you don't expect them always make my day. It was while leaving from bed, but she said, you have to say goodbye to my nipples. It's the unique things that stay with you. And say goodbye to these. I called you in sick today. Damn it, I already got approval to work at home. One night my wife and I had just started having sex. She grabs both sides of my face and says, don't be so nice tonight. I fucked her senseless and she still mentions it occasionally. She mentions it because she wants you to do it that way again. Even married guys miss the signals. If she's talking about it, she wants you to do it again, bro. My boyfriend and I are into BDSM, and one time, in between the rough things he did to me, he gently placed his hand on my forehead and whispered, be careful, don't bump your head against the wall, loudly crying, I'm melting, I'm so in love, ugh. OMG yes. My boyfriend can be doing the nastiest things to me and saying the worst things, but not really all within what we both like, but then he will rearrange me on the bed because he thinks I'm at an uncomfortable angle or could fall off or could hit the headboard, and then will kiss my forehead and get back to it, lol. How does one find this type of relationship? Because please. It feels like it's in my stomach. I'm average, but that was all it took. You were in the belly button. I don't even know how many times you just made me come. I'd be like, tomorrow will you remember that it was more than 0? Quote. My girl stopped by before a trip to West Coast. She said, I'm taking you with me to California. And I did not have her an airplane ticket. Damn, the old, hide in the suitcase, trick. The meat suitcase, yeah. In bed, well done. A day later, I'm still thinking about that orgasm. One time I was hooking up with my ex and she said, show me how much you hate me, while we were fucking, and yeah, that did it for me. Are you going to fill me up before work? I get off to that like 10 years later. My car says the same thing every morning. Not quite as hot. Fuck it, just pull my hair and nut in me. Quote, did this result in a child? It did not. I've never fathered a child unintentionally. My then boyfriend and I had gotten a hotel, and just spent our first few nights together consecutively. The next morning he had work and I didn't, so I was in the room waiting for him. He comes in like 4 hours before his day was supposed to end, grabs my ankles, pulls me to the end of the bed, gets on his knees and says, I miss this needy pussy, fuck work, melting face. This is by far the hottest one I read here, relieved face. Good girl. The first time my BF said that to me I felt my soul leave my body. Brain rewired. I'd asked my previous partners to say it and none of them would. He just did it without me even mentioning it, and he did it with conviction. God, I love that man. Snap, it came out of nowhere and I'd never even thought about someone saying it to me. When I'd read about it, I was always puzzled by the appeal. But in the right moment, holy shit. It sent me into the stratosphere. You are very powerful, said to me by a Japanese girl who knew like 100 words of English, who was trying to tell me I had great stamina. I like her wording better. That, Sugoi, hits different. Daily reminder that everyone in these posts are 50% uglier and fatter than what your subconscious is telling you. In that moment, they were Adonis and Aphrodite. For a moment, everything was perfect and sex was as good as it should always be. And isn't that wonderful, that we don't have to be thin and beautiful to be someone's hottest memory. Fuck me like you paid for it. Quote, come in 10 seconds and escort her to the door. I now understand the term escort. I love you. I know, harmless_gecko, more like handless_gecko. My girlfriend had a couple or so orgasms during a long Saturday morning in bed and decided it was my turn. I was enthusiastically going about my business from behind. I grabbed her hips kind of hard and pulled her to me. She grabbed the top of the headboard and said yes, take me. The way she said it made me feel all kinds of things. I didn't last too much longer though. It was too much for my brain. I was giving my wife her first squirting orgasm and she said between gasps, what, gasp, gasp, you, gasp, doing, gasp, to me. Gasp, Also, you feel like steel wrapped in velvet. Yes, she's a reader, to all the SJM fans. Was still very hot. I was about to say, I've heard that second line before tears of joy. You make me feel safe. Honestly, that hit way harder than anything overly sexual. I got that once too. Didn't make me nut, but it did make me feel good. Sometimes feeling emotionally wanted hits harder than anything physical, honestly. Told me, fuck that, come deep in me. It was a good time. Had a crush on a girl throughout high school, but we never really hung out until we were 20 or so. She had dated the same guy for years before they broke up and we started hanging out. Turns out she had a crush on me too, and we almost immediately started tearing each other's clothes off. She ripped off my shorts and said, "Oh my god, you're huge." Now, I'm not gonna lie to myself, it's on the better end of average, but I wouldn't say huge. Guess her ex had a small one or something, but it definitely made me feel like a stud.